Give me 1 second, and I'll link it into.
I'm not seeing that the stream's on.
I am not seeing that it's
It's a
on either.
delay.
But hold on, let me make sure that. Yeah, it's on now. Copy video URL, and let me let people in pound LRH know this is happening.
It just went live for me.
Yep.
It's on for me.
Hell yeah! All right, so cool. And then I think I'll just let me see. I'll let the JRE Discord know real quick. Hell yeah. Because they like it. And then let me just post it in the regular LRH chat. And that's all the people that I'm going to bother with this thing right here. And then get back to you beautiful people right there. Hell yeah. All right, so yeah, there we go. We're on IRC D&D. Yes, hello, I'm Zach ZYZ. And let me just introduce everybody real quick. This is our 5th adventure. Zartet at the very bottom beneath me there is going to be our archivist. He will give us a brief overview of the adventures thus far. To his left, or his right, your left, we have Logic the Thief, then Big Angie, our ranger, and then Kuntz, the mage of the enchanted goblet. Hell yeah. And so the familiars that you might see in the chat, Kuntz's cat is named Glitch, and then Angie's dogs are Mila and Puppy. And you'll have to figure out which one is which. It's not hard. Okay. So, Zartet, can you recount our heroic adventures thus far, please?
Yeah, I'll try to keep it a little high level here because we're getting long in the tooth here.
All right,
cool. Session 1, we were all on our way to a meeting with King Jordy the Little in the city of Iran because apparently one of us on a drunken night pissed on one of his soldiers. So we were on our way to by boat to Iran when our kind of boat got fucked up, and also we were being pursued by a Legion Triene. Kuntz raided the captain's quarters, stole a golden goblet that he hid in his jack, and we paddled our way ashore where we were being pursued by the Legion. We came across Big Earl outside the city of Borg and tried to convince him that, the Legion's on the way. He wouldn't listen to us. But eventually he came around after I did some convincing, after Zartet did some convincing, and we were able to meet up with King Jordy's men on the hill overseeing Borg, which was being ransacked and pillaged. But we were able to kind of hold them off for the time being. We rested up that night, and the next morning continued to travel east. We pursued we came across some blood in the trail on our way east, and Logic almost fell to his death. I was able to revive him somewhat, and on the body of the man that we found in the bottom of the ravine, he had tattoos with 2 entwining snakes going at each other's throats, as well as some sachets of a black powder, poison. Later, we came across some people that were on the trail ahead of us, looking like they were heading north. Eventually, we sent Logic ahead, and he came upon a forge where we met a short older man named Bisbee, who told us about his arduous kind of dealings with a group of marauders. We figured that the people that we saw earlier on the trail were those marauders, so we went and pursued them. We weren't able to really draw them out of the cave that they were hiding in because they proved to be quite stupid and quite chicken shit. So our little ambush plan was pretty useless. But as Logic and Zartet were kind of subduing these marauders, a band of soldiers were attempting their own ambush. But Angie saw this and was able to kill most of them with some deft arrowing and archery. Logic again almost died, but Zartet was able to save him by throwing a spear at the man who was going to lay the killing blow. Kuntz was also able to take out some with some magic missiles. That ended our night on the beach with the Marauders. The next morning, the Marauders were kind of hemming and hawing. They weren't really giving us any information. And during that discussion, Logic, while he was looting the bodies of the soldiers we had killed the night before, notices a strange flock of seagulls, with one kind of big demon gull that was kind of leader of the pack there. These weird gulls appeared to have, kind of long swooping necks and not really feathers so much as kind of fish or lizard scales or something to that effect. But as we were fighting off these gulls, the Marauders decided that they would use that moment to try to attack us. So they weren't very successful. Kuntz actually clawed one with a claw hammer right in the face. And the others kind of almost killed themselves with these big, beautiful weapons that they had stole from Bisbee.
TBWs.
Yeah, big, beautiful weapons. As that was going on, the gulls kind of swooped away, either taking themselves out, fighting over the soldiers, or, whatever gulls do. We find some items on the soldiers. I create some Goodberries that I distribute to my team, but also to a couple of the Marauders. Since they pretty much injured themselves, we made them carry all of the weapons that they stole from Bisbee back to Bisbee. And Bisbee, upon seeing these Marauders, kind of whips them into shape, quite literally, tying them to a tree and whipping them into submission. After we rest a bit, Bisbee actually bequeaths onto us one of his premium swords, which we hand off to Angie, one of our better fighters. That brings us to last session, where we move further on to pies. And we ended up camping outside of the town at the very beginning. So as we camped outside of the town, we could hear screams coming from the distance within town. Kuntz has a dream of falling into a whirlpool while an unblinking eye at its center stares back. He wakes with a scream, and Angie tells him he's just having a bad dream and to go back to sleep and stop being a wimp. We all wake later, and as we're getting ready to make our ways toward Pies, Logic points out a troop of Legion soldiers also making their way towards the town a few leagues away. The town must be warned. Zartet draws a map for Kuntz and Angie as the best way to beat the Legion to town without being noticed, while Logic and Zartet take up the rear, carrying the party's belongings. When Angie and Kuntz come upon Pies, they are met with a strange and sad scene. The town seems to have been ravaged somehow. Angie sees a goat herder face down and bloated near the entrance to Pies, all of his livestock having met the same fate. There's a decay on the wind and blight in the area. The chemical smell of burning metal hangs in the air. A red miasma and fire covers nearly everything. It appears as if the comet that has been looming for weeks has made its impact. Either that or some ray of putrefaction has been cast on the Pies from some deity above. At this moment, a man leaps from a nearby roof onto Angie, and they both tumble to the ground. Angie rights herself quickly, and with an upward swing of Bisbee's blade, cleaves the man's face into two halves, and he falls dead. Inspection of the corpse shows that his skin is red and blisters as if sunburned. His teeth are sharp and have the appearance of those of a rat, while his body has started sprouting odd hairy mutations as if he had been transmogrified with a city rat. We are told this was the son of Cooper Marlson, or we recognize him as the son of Cooper Marlson. While Angie dispatched this poor soul, Kuntz wandered around the area, taking in the sights of the destruction. As Angie and Kuntz are looking for someone to warn about the approaching Legion, Zartet and Logic approach the town and come upon the same herder as earlier. Zartet recognizes the bloated corpse as that of Billy McMasters, a shepherd of goats and keeper of bees. They walk past the sad scene and move into the town in search of Kuntz and Angie. Meanwhile, Kuntz and his wandering comes upon a brewery that's fallen victim to this red miasma. The substance has corroded through the timber and stone that made up this brewery. While inspecting this, the ooze attacks Kuntz, but he's able to overcome it. I don't remember exactly how. Zartet and Logic rendezvous with Kuntz and Angie, while Zartet explains that they must get to Goodberry Farms before it's too late because of the approaching Legion troop. Approaching Goodberry Farms, there's a dead woman on the trail, completely gored. Closer, there's another young man strewn off the path, his entrails sped about. Zartet had left the farm in the care of the brothers Morley, but judging by the state of everything, something had gone terribly wrong shortly after Zartet had left for Iran. The farm is completely derelict, and all the olive trees and other crops have been completely uprooted. The only thing barely standing is the old farmhouse. A smell of stinking beast musk is coming off everything that had been destroyed. We follow our noses to the old root cellar near the back of the house. Here's where the beast has hidden itself to rest, and Zartet lurches from the odor. At this moment, a large and otherworldly-looking javelina rushes out of the cellar and rears back at us. Logic and Kuntz both take action with their daggers, attempting to jump on the creature's back, stabbing at its neck. Both are able to get a couple digs in, but Logic is tossed by the disgusting pig creature. Angie swings at the beast's face and is able to lop off one of its tusks with Bisbee's blade. Zartet concentrates on an entangle spell, is able to restrain the animal just long enough for the others to attempt more blows against it, but no one's able to strike the finishing blow. Eventually, the javelina breaks free of the entanglement and rushes towards Zartet, who is between the pig and the old farmhouse. As the pig lunges for Zartet, he's able to sidestep it, causing the creature to ram its head into the stone foundation of the farmhouse. While it's stunned, Zartet reaches back with the spear and sticks the pig dead through the eye. This was kind of more about me, but Zartet is forlorn about the state of his farm and wants to look for signs of the fate of the pet goat Angie had given him not too long ago. And that is where we left off.
So in addition, as things drew to a close and everybody was torn up and sorely beset by the encounter with the pig, I think several party members were severely wounded by the monstrous pig. You hear the sounds of heavy armored footfalls, and the cohort of legionnaires has made their way up the path to Goodberry Farms and is approaching. So to tell you a little bit about the Legion of Earthworth, these are heavily armored fighters. The legends that you know about Earthworth is that it's a cruel god. Some say that it's a demon that lives beneath a volcano in the northern isles of Earthworth. And the only thing that can appease it and keep it from destroying their city utterly is a constant stream of sacrifices. Essentially the streets of Earthworth are paved with skulls that have been trod underfoot, that have been offered up to the volcano god. So they're known for plundering and reaving all along the northern coastline. Anywhere within reach of their longships is in desperate peril of having their town attacked. And indeed, development has been stymied along the whole northern coast due to their relentless pillaging. However, y'all are in Iran, which is all the way south across the lake. And in this world of Arcady, most settlements are set up around this one giant lake, which has a peculiarity to it. There's a ever-raging storm towards the center of the lake, and if you sail too close to it, it's said that you will start to lose your memories. So for the party from Earthworth to have made it all the way down here, they must have sailed through the storm or otherwise have rowed the entire circumference of the lake to reach you, as the western part of the lake is mostly seen as an unnavigable death trap. So what you know about the Legion is that they're utterly relentless. They will pursue you for leagues and leagues and leagues, keeping up their indefatigable, indefatigable. I can't say the word. They just for relentless leagues, keeping up a tireless pace until you are utterly exhausted, and then they will take your skulls back to Earthworth. Each cohort of Legionnaires usually has a skull man with them, and his whole job is just cleaning out and polishing the skulls to be brought back to Earthworth.
Cool.
They wear heavy armor. They favor battle axes and warhammers and other weapons that do grievous damage, and they're more than a match for any sort of local militia and so forth. I believe that most of them train from about age 5 until they are 15 years old, and they tend to select the biggest and meanest and most utterly vicious to be legionnaires of Earthworth. They are fanatics, and very, very seldom will you see any of them that...
Are they slaves by chance? Or they're just fanatics?
They're more, I would say that they are more like elite shock troops, and utterly fanatical in their devotion. It's very, very uncommon to hear of any traitors within their ranks, and they tend to fight to the death, because essentially if they're dishonored, what awaits them is worse than death. So that's a little primer about the Legion. So what you see coming up the road is about 15 armored men. And I don't want to leave you guys with any illusions, but they are probably more than a match for all of you with your party so sorely tested. So the monster hog has been slain. However, even though its body is still, you can see almost rippling beneath its skin, as if there are things squirming beneath the surface. So let me get, just for our reference for everybody watching here, what are your hit point totals right now? Angie, how many hit points do you have left?
I have 4 circled.
You have 4 left? Wow.
I don't know. I
Yeah.
think so.
Was that 4, or was that how many arrows you had left?
Oh, shit.
Okay.
Well, then I have 19 also. Fuck. I don't know why I didn't write that down. I'm sorry.
You
That's
were
okay.
at 1 hit point, if I remember. You were pretty close to that.
I was
we're,
like,
we're all
fuck.
pretty low because I have myself
ate
at
a-
8.
Berry. We all ate 1 berry.
We all ate 1 berry.
afterwards.
Did Angie get like really hurt in the fight with the hog, and where you just said that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I got,
Somebody
like,
was knocked down to 1, I think.
Logic was hurt pretty bad. He
Yeah.
was like tossed aside.
Okay. So Kunz, you got away from that pretty well. What are your hit points
got-
right now?
I got 1 minus 7 and then a +1 from the berry, so I'm at 9.
You're at 9 hit points.
I'm
Logic.
at 11.
You're
I
at
think,
11,
actually.
Angie. Okay, good. And then Logic, what are you at? I think you have 5 hit points left. Whew. I think Zartet had to cast Cure Light Wounds on somebody.
Yeah, 5.
Okay, and then Zartet, what are you at?
Current
Right
I'm at
LRH
8.
IRC pool has Logic dying next.
now? Wow, I didn't realize you guys had a pool. Okay, so time is of the essence here. The Legion has spotted you because of just the tremendous racket that your fight with the monster hog made. So to give you an idea of what the layout is, so Zartet, you know this area pretty well. Your farm is on sort of a peninsula facing towards the sea. Essentially, if you run north, you will get trapped on the peninsula where the land rises steeply, and there are white cliffs that drop down almost, in some cases, 200 feet down to the surface of the sea. The land slopes sort of to the west of the other side of the peninsula, where sometimes you'll have goats grazing and sheep wandering around, and where wild olives grow and so forth as wilderness, but you don't think that there's any kind of escape that way. The path that leads to Pies is where the Legionnaires are marching. Pies is to the south and west of your farm. However, around the way from your farmhouse, there is sort of a beach that runs along the shore that's relatively rocky and broken up with it's rocky interspersed with dunes and sea grasses and so forth. It's a spectacular place, actually to go hunting for crabs and mussels, and just there are lots of tide pools along that way. And you've spent a lot of time fishing down that way.
Mm-hmm. Chasing crabs and whatnot.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, we've got to go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the Legionnaires are running towards you now.
We could head towards the cliffs, towards the pasture, or towards like this beach is what I'm getting here.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the cliffs and the pasture don't seem very good, so probably the beach, I would assume.
The Legionnaires have gained on you.
Is there any-
They are now 50 feet closer than they were.
Let's just start going.
Yep. Yeah. So you can hear their heavy boots. One of them points at you, Logic, and says something in his guttural language, and then another one shouts at him and points at Kuntz. And several cries go up among them. Their language does lots of like spitting and harsh glottals, and you can hear it ringing through their heavy helmets. All of them are wearing these big helmets that have just eye slits, and some of them have horns.
All right,
and so forth.
Sartet, lead the way.
Yeah, we got to go. Is there anywhere around here we could maybe lay a trap and use the environment against these people?
I don't think you have a lot of time. In fact, I think that they, as you stand here deliberating, they have advanced another 20 feet, and within about 10 seconds, they will be upon you. So if you want to run, now is the time.
Yeah, we're
I'm
well
running,
fed
I don't care
because
what
we've had good berries, so we can't
running.
run.
Say it again.
Let's run. I mean, everybody's had a
Running.
good berry, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So
All right, let's run.
you're much fortified
Running.
by the power of the good berries. So the party sets off running for your lives along the very eastern beach that leads down the side of eastern Moria. And as you're running towards the beach, you see you have a decent head start on the Legionnaires, and you can run much faster. They just move at that tireless, plodding, clunking pace. However, as you're running towards the beach, you see two of them circling around the farm. They sent to encircle you. So you have two Legionnaires in heavy plate running towards you. And it looks like they are running ahead to where they will cut you off at the beach. To give you an idea of what the landscape of the beach is like, it slopes sharply down at this point into a series of tide pools where the rocks are slippery, but all of you are probably nimble of foot enough to run across them if you need to, but you'd have to be careful. A slip might send you plunging into the ocean, or you could be injured falling there.
Got $10 on logic.
It's so clumsy thus far. Okay, so as at present, they will cut you off about 100 feet ahead of where you are running now, towards the south. Yeah.
Is there another direction? Like as we're running, can we quickly find another direction out of here?
Well, you have the ocean
Or
to
a
your
wood
east.
line.
Yeah, you have the ocean to your east.
Sarten.
You have the two Legionnaires are coming to intercept you towards the south, right there. And if you break towards the west, that's the way that the Legion is coming at you from. So you may have to go through these Legionnaires one way or another.
All right, let's just go through maybe I can cast friends on them, and we can make some friends.
Oh, you have friends? Okay. So are you
It's
going
my
to...
only remaining spell.
Are you going to attempt to befriend the Worth Legionnaires?
Yes.
Okay. And how close
Yes.
does friends require you to be?
We might have to touch them or something.
Let's look at
One
the
second
spell.
here. I'm looking it up here really quickly.
Yes, hello to Micro Grizzly, who has joined us in the cool. It's been a little bit since I've seen somebody actually take friends in a game.
Its range is 0, so I think that means basically.
Well, you cast it on yourself.
Yeah.
So a friend
Oh
spell.
no, I cast it on myself, and it has an area effect of 60 feet radius. So 120 feet diameter.
Okay.
Yeah, so it just
So
increases your
essentially, it
charisma.
increases your charisma by 2d4 points of. Let's see. They have to make immediate reaction checks to your new charisma, and this lasts for 1d4 rounds plus 1 round per level. So you can attempt to invoke this and see if you can befriend
Of
the
course.
Legionnaires. Okay.
I believe this is the most powerful spell in the game.
Yeah, friendship is very powerful. Okay. So your friend's spell.
The
will
wish
last-
spell.
How many more charismas do I get?
It will last for a total of 6 rounds. So for the next 6 minutes, you are 8 points more charismatic than you would normally
Wow.
So I had
was
13.
super hot.
I think
was
it
2
caps at
fours.
20.
be. Yeah, it does. It does
I got 20
cap at 20.
charisma.
You are incredibly charismatic to these people right there, who
Yeah, it's
are
like-
to the Legionnaires that are running towards you. However, you do not share a common language with them. Unfortunately.
So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna wave at them and just keep running past them.
Okay.
Like, hey, Bob, Frank.
So you, part of you, just imbued with the magical charisma and confidence, you act as if you're happy to see the Legionnaires as you're running past them. You're like, hey guys. He's back that way. Just pointing back that way. And let's see whether
They
you're
went
able
that way.
to... and actually, for a moment, the Legionnaires seem confused by the brazen stupidity of your actions, and they fail to act and allow you to dash past. The sorcery has temporarily beguiled them, but not for long.
In that split second, I'm following him.
Logic, make a dexterity check real quick. What is your dexterity?
Logic's gonna die.
It is 16.
16? Here. Unfortunately.
Critical fail. Oh no.
That's close.
Do you roll a 1?
I rolled a...
Oh, stop doing.
I rolled a 19. So, Logic, unfortunately, so you guys are running over tide pools, and as you're running, you realize that Kuntz is about to step onto a whole cluster of poisonous urchins, right? And you shout at him, and like, look out, like, don't step there, right? And Kuntz manages to, he heeds your warning, and manages not to step on the poisonous urchins. And Zartet, you and Angie are warned about the presence of like a whole bunch of poisonous spiny urchins growing there. However, in the moment where you call after him, you slip, Logic, and manage to like fall into a roll. You're like a very graceful thief, but it is a terrible time to slip, because as you crumble to the ground and roll and slide on the wet stone, the Legionnaires come to their senses, and they've broken free of the beguilement. So Angie, you and Zartet have a chance to act before the Legionnaires can figure out what's what.
Angie, you have all the weapons.
Yeah, they're going to attack you very shortly. One of the Legionnaires has a large double-bladed axe, and the other one has a warhammer. And they don't look like they're at all.
Oh, it was
shy
the
about
two,
you.
it's 2 outriders, right?
It's 2 Legionnaires in heavy black plate armor.
Okay.
Yeah, they look almost charred there. They really do it big on the whole trying to intimidate people. They're very metal.
Okay.
So we get 1 surprise attack, it sounds like, or 1...
So, Kuntz, you, unfortunately, you just spent your time avoiding the sort of field of poisonous
Yeah, I
urchins.
didn't mean me. I meant Zartet and
But
Angie. They
Zartet
get,
and
like,
Angie
1.
have an ability. They can act before the Legionnaires, but they must do it soon because these guys will not wait for you forever.
Take a swing, Angie.
Or should I shoot an arrow? And
How far away? I mean,
So Angie,
Yeah.
right now you're
Yeah,
about
so can you-
10 or 15 feet away from them. I probably, before you can draw and fire an arrow, one of them will intercept with their weapon.
yeah, I might as well take a swing.
Okay.
Fuck it.
So you're going to take a swing at one of the heavily armored guys there. Let's
make it a good one.
Okay. It is a good one in that you do not break Bisbee's blade, but you are not used to fighting such heavy armor. So your blade is turned aside by the heavy breastplate of one in a shower of sparks and squealing metal. Zartet, you see that like a slashing attack is ineffective, but you do have your spear. What would you like to do?
He's still like 10, 15 feet away.
Yeah, they're like 10, 15 feet away from you, but Angie has just dashed up and swung at one of them and momentarily distracted him, while the other one the one with the warhammer, seems like he is winding up to go for an attack against Angie.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm going to step up with my spear and try to like jab between the plate.
Okay. You're
Where I can.
attempting to lance one of these guys at one of the weak points of their armor. Now they are wearing what's field plate, essentially. So it is rigid plates with chainmail on underneath. So there are spots where you can hit them. Unfortunately, it's very difficult in the heat of battle to do damage to one of these guys. They are very proficient fighters. So you're able to keep your grip on your spear, but just barely. And the legionnaire who you had tried to attack, the one with the double-bladed axe, has grabbed the haft of your spear in one of his gauntlets and tugs you forward with it. And he attempts to grab you with his other hand, or he attempts to go in for a quick chop with his other dagger. However, as he's doing so, he is not especially on sure footing here. The rocks here are slippery, and you have a specific advantage because you have walked along this beach hundreds of times. You know every inch of this land, and you see that he's about to lose his footing, and you're able to pull him down using the leverage of the spear that he has gripped onto, and fling him face first into the tide pool full of poisonous urchins.
Fuck yeah.
Or I believe urchin is the plural of urchin. Maybe. I'm not sure.
Uni.
Okay, so Angie, meanwhile, the legionnaire with the warhammer has pulled out his warhammer, and he is is winding up for a gigantic swing at you. Okay. What's your dexterity?
15.
15? Nice. Okay. Just your incredible speed and grace is the only reason why you're alive. A blow that would have crushed your head like a watermelon just swings directly over your head. And because he has put so much force into it, Logic, you have the ability to do something now. And Kuntz, you have the ability to do something now. Okay, Logic, you can act first.
Sorry, I missed that. What was that, Logan?
So, Kuntz, you're going to have the ability to act right after Logic.
Okay.
But I will remind you, like while you are waiting here, more Legionnaires are quickly approaching. They are running up.
I think we need
behind
to
you.
GTFO.
In that split second, when he's thrown his entire weight forward, I just kind of give him a push right into the pool.
Okay, you want to shove him down into the pool with it? Excellent idea. So you're dashing in and trying to throw him off balance. Your attack is successful.
Fuck yeah.
So you're able to get behind him and shove him over. He lands onto the first Legionnaire with a tremendous clatter of armor, and you can hear a hiss from the Legionnaire below. And you see him trying to rise up out of the pool, and you can see that on the side of his leg, there are spines jutting out from his leg where he was jabbed through the links in his chainmail armor. So
Sweet.
Yeah, excellent there. So you've thrown them off balance. These two guys are disabled, so you can attempt to keep fleeing if you would like, or you can try to do more damage to them. But there are some 15-odd legionnaires still approaching.
Let's get the hell out of here.
Do I see like anywhere on the distance on the ocean, like any Legion ships or anything like that?
So you scan as the four of you begin to run south as fast as your legs can carry you, and it's with some difficulty too. You sustained heavy damage fighting the hog, and specifically Zartet. Your injury, I believe, was to your leg at one point.
Yeah.
And you might have also gotten. Was that the same leg that got injured fighting the birds, or am I misremembering?
No, it was the birds.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, with your leg
No,
injury,
actually, I think no,
the hog gored you
time.
pretty bad.
Yeah.
So
It had to
you
be
were
the hog.
you were having trouble keeping up
Well,
with
I'm
the
helping
others.
him move.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. At points, logic, you have to offer him a shoulder, and the leg is cramping up, and you're very worried that at some point they'll run you down. You scan the horizon for looking for any kind of sign of somebody that could help or whatever, because you're
Do I
very
have a
worried
fishing boat out here?
that they will. You do have a fishing boat. However, the dock is a little bit north of where you are here,
Mhm.
and given the poor state of your farm, you wouldn't exactly expect to find it in good condition. The brothers Morley may have made off with your boat, but it's north of here in any case. You don't. You'd have to go through the Legionnaires to get back to it. So, the four of you continue running south of town, and the whole while, you continue running until you see pies smoldering in the distance. And as you're running there, as you run south of town, you can see people dart out of the dunes, running away from the four of you as they're coming, and they look terrified. Many of them, their skin is reddened and twisted, and they scatter from your approach in a way that is terribly reminiscent of mice running from the approach of a cat bear.
So they're not hostile. They're just kind of
No, they're terrified of you.
skittish.
Yeah, they're very skittish there.
They're turning.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So as you're running,
Keep away from these unnatural beings.
yeah, as you're running south of town, you notice that there's a section of dune where all the grass has been eaten away. Just a big, it's almost like an acre swath of grass that has just been completely eaten, and all the stumps are reddened, and there are glistening globs of the same reddish stuff that you saw, Kuntz, back in town. And some of them are quivering and moving along as you run. All right, Zartet, what is your constitution?
13.
13? Okay, you guys have been running away from the Legion for a solid 20 minutes right now, and it's really starting to take its toll on you. Zartet, your constitution is starting to fail you, unfortunately. So you have to slow down to probably about 75% of your normal pace. So you guys are just keeping ahead of the Legionnaires. You've never lost sight of them, but for a little bit you were putting distance between them. But because of the cramping in Zartet's leg, you're now at a point where you're just keeping a regular pace with them. So I would say that you have managed to get about a quarter of a mile of distance from the Legion there. So let me tell you what you know about the area ahead, Zartet. So the coast becomes increasingly ragged as you move further south towards Vorabrink, right? Vorabrink is where the sort of shoal path across the Darameus to the mainland is. And there's also, let me pull up our map right here. And it's a three-way path that also leads to Ganzat. So you're heading along the coast from Pies, right there. So you see the little, if you're looking at the map, the little hook up there is Goodberry Farm, and you guys are headed towards the southeast, right there.
I could bring the map up.
Oh yeah, if you feel like it. Yeah, if it's not a pain in the ass.
No, it's all right.
Oh, I have to watch your stream for everybody to see what's going on there. Okay, so our intrepid adventurers are right over here at Pies, and they moved up here to Goodberry Farms, which is up here. And by now, you've run about to this spot on the coast, right? As you're moving on, you know that if you run straight along the coast, you're going to run into this sort of deep fjord-like structure here. So there's a chance that if you run along this path for too long, you will get trapped on this sort of jutting outcrop of land right here. Because if they have further reinforcements coming from the west, they will almost certainly be able to corner you there. Okay. And,
We're east of Pies right now?
yeah, right now you guys are east of Pies, racing along the coast.
Oh, we haven't quite made it to the Daramelis.
Yeah, the
sort of.
the Darameus there is probably like about a 2-day hike from where you're at.
Oh, okay.
Or you could marathon it in about a day and a half if you'd like to.
Can you point one more time to where we are? Sorry, I wasn't
Yeah.
able
So
to see.
no, that's okay. I don't think you can see my pointer there, but if
I
you
could
look,
for a while. I don't know where it went though.
okay. Yeah. Hold on. Source is 5 frames per second. So right over here,
sorry.
on Torf, it should honestly just be me doing this with like a whiteboard or whatever here. Maybe I'll set that up for the next one. But if you look to the east of Pies, you see the little thing that looks kind of like a goblin's head right there.
Yeah.
So you guys are Goodberry Farms is at the just north of the X of Pies, that little hook thing. Goodberry Farms is along there, and the cove with Zartet's boathouse is the little indent that you see there. So then you guys have run along that sort of coast, and you're now about halfway down the northern coast right there. You know that if you keep running sort of along the coast right here, you will run into this area here where there's a very steep drop, and you would have to jump down from about 400 feet into very rocky and troublesome waters.
So I think we should go southeast towards Vora Brink, and then from there east towards the Daramels. Or Darames.
Darameus.
I agree with
Put
that.
the Moria.
Okay. So what I would suggest, or what your experience would suggest to you, Zartet, is that you cannot continue running. Don't show this to me again. It's fine. God, fuck off. I hate whoever designs those kind of pop-ups. They fuck them dead.
Was it the how did this call go?
How did this
type
call
thing?
go? I just
Yeah,
I wish
those.
that person could just be like dragged out in front of everybody, and just everybody gets to smack them as hard as they can.
Don't show me this again doesn't work because
Yeah,
I've
it
seen
doesn't
it like
work.
3
Yeah.
times today already.
Fuck these people. Anyhow,
Never seen that before.
you will.
God, fuck this word. I hate it.
Yeah. Okay. Anyhow, so essentially, rising to the west of you, the land rises sharply into a fairly tall peak, and as you run along that peak, you know that south is sort of like a winding passage where once a lot of sort of the original inhabitants of this island used to live there before they all vanished or were driven away. So there are cave systems there where potentially you could attempt to lose the legionnaires there. But you do not know all of these like the back of your hand here. You are not much of a spelunker. So you haven't explored all of these. You don't know what all is there or who may have fled there in the time. since everything went so crazy. But that's where you're headed to essentially like a series of caves. And you know that eventually, if you keep running along the coast, you will get trapped on that little jutting outcrop. So
Let's go south.
yeah, as you run south towards the Honeycomb Caves, Zartet, you must make another Constitution check. Your speed is becoming severely compromised right here. You may want to consider some kind of healing magic or something, because as it is, you're down to about half of your normal running speed.
High off your arm and get some of those good berries in there.
Yeah, I mean that's the only thing I can do, which is only going to give me 1 hit point.
Huh.
But I can't. I mean,
we actually still have the packet of silver powder.
The silver dust is more for critical wounds. Essentially, it's he would have to be almost on the verge of death before you would attempt to use that powder. Just because it does
Hit him with my hammer.
it does require a system shock. Yeah, you just do
yeah,
some
I can
emergency
hit you with a
acupuncture.
hammer.
Have we passed any like carts or wheelbarrows or pack animals on the side of the road?
No, for the most
Or
part,
on the side, anywhere.
for the most
We're
part,
gonna carry Zartet.
the road has been deserted, and if you have to rig up some kind of like travois, I think is that how you say it, travois? You know, those things where you like carry somebody on 2 sticks with cloth. I think it's a travois.
Oh, yeah, I remember those.
But if you had to rig something up like that, you would swiftly be caught and butchered by the Legion.
Well, we can't fight them and we can't run, so what are we supposed to do?
Well, your ability to run away from them is just diminishing as this goes on, and
Are
your
there
old
any like
druids
They're
are
hiding
donkeys
spots.
or horses or anything that we could ride?
not in the immediate.
Giant sea turtles.
There are no horses riding around in the immediate area, but
Any
as
goats, sheep?
Goats.
you do see some mountain goats sort of pecking along there are like quite a few goats and rams and so forth that are in this cave type area. So you have made it to the Honeycomb Caves, which is like a series of some of these caves are only tall enough for a man to step inside. Some of them stretch down for just, it might be leagues and leagues. They stretch like deep down into the rock face here. And that's why they call them the Honeycomb Caves, because the whole mountain is just honeycombed with these little chuck holes. At one point, hundreds and hundreds, maybe thousands of years ago, people used to live in these holes. Hundreds of them, maybe even thousands of them. And nobody knows exactly what happened to the people that used to live here. So now, mainly the people that live in these caves are hermits and fugitives from justice, and only on a temporary basis, because it's not only people that take shelter in these caves, but sometimes bears and other larger creatures. So as you're running around, so you have come to the point where there are all these chucks and honeycomb caves. I would say that you've managed to stay about 1/8 of a mile ahead of the Legion thus far, and the path cuts sort of sharply to the southwest. So for a time, you're able to get out of the sight of the Legionnaires. If you have no healing magic left to you there, Zartet, eating a good berry would potentially let you run on for a little bit further. But it's definitely a losing battle. You're hurt bad and need to rest.
Can we
Yes.
make it seem like we went up the other path and then maybe find a place to rest?
You absolutely, as a ranger, you can absolutely try to mislead them and leave a false trail for them. That's an excellent idea. So Angie, what is your wisdom?
13.
13. Zartet, what is your wisdom?
14.
Okay. So the two of you working together are able to cover your tracks and lead a misleading trail into a cave that you know, Zartet, is very deep and has numerous places where there are sheer drops inside of it, where if you just blunder into there, you're liable to fall and break your fool neck. Meanwhile, you walk sort of off of the path and just hop from stone to stone and brush away. I love this. You brush away any trace of your passage. So you move slower as you're doing this. And I need Kuntz. What's your dexterity?
16.
16. Cool. Logic. What's yours?
Mine is 16 as well.
Okay. And then Zartet, once more. What's your constitution?
13.
13. Okay. Nice. So just, your leg is really hurting you at this point. It's to the point where it feels like every step that you take, it's going to give out. But you are, in a way, the leader of this party, and these people depend on you. And more on willpower than on constitution, you are able to stay upright and make it as you guys leap from cave to cave and hide your trail. And finally, you lead them to a place where you can climb up and hide sort of beneath a space where you can roll a stone across the passage so it looks like no one is there. And you also disguise the pass with a like a great deal of brush so that you can look out from the cavern, but it's very difficult to see where you are. Okay, so this cave, unfortunately, is not very deep. It's one of like the more shallow chuck holes. So is it your intent to try to hide out here and hope that they cannot find you?
I mean, Angie led us here. Do I get the sense that this seems like well hidden?
This seems like the
Would
best
I
that
be
you
able-
can do for right now. You don't like waiting here with no real backup plan for how to retreat, but honestly, your leg is killing you at this point, and you think it may be the best option that you have at this point.
Well,
Sounds like we got to rest here.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
like, you could let me rest here.
Well, they could leave you behind, but if the Legion finds you, that would be the end of your adventure, 100%.
Plus, we don't want to disturb the path that you guys just covered, and
No.
Well,
So what it's really going to be is a test
there it
of
is.
like how much do you trust your woods lore and your ability to mislead legionnaires who are far from their own native land. Well, we'll find out after the break. So everybody, let's take 5, grab something to drink, and return within about 5 minutes from this point.
Yes.
Dun dun dun.
Is my silver ring doing anything?
It's doing absolutely nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
I think I have a plan after we come back.
Well, at least it's somewhat safe, I guess. I don't really see any other options. I don't know.
We shall see.
I already got my drink, so I'm good.
I might go puff on a cigarette outside, so.
Oh, I love that he's on a cat petting break. That's hilarious. No, they're frozen. All right, let me see what's going on in IRC.
I'm back.
All right, there we go. You see Kuntz like toying with his cat with his headphone cord. It's a recipe for disaster.
You know what's fucked
I
up?
should probably not train her to attack that.
Yeah.
When I did that critical failure roll,
Yeah.
and you were like roll dexterity, I actually rolled here, and I also rolled a critical fail.
Nice.
Like it was, yeah, like yeah. Oh, man.
Well, luckily, like mine was just like a 19 and not a 20. So yeah, it was bad. But so you didn't fall like into the poison urchin pit. But yeah. By the way, I guess Angie, you and Zartet would have the woods lore to know that the poison of those particular urchins, which are violet urchins, is the name of them, just makes you shit yourself to death. It's a really
Yes.
terrible way to go. But yeah,
A
that's
day in the life of Dwayne.
Terrible or fun.
it's not fun for those guys. Oof.
They deserve it.
Yeah, it's gonna like be scrambling to get out of that armor.
Is that what
and
the
it's
hissing
not-
sound was?
You know that the legionnaire that fell into the urchin pit is almost certainly done for. And with any luck,
I have a
you have
cosmic
cosmic
brownie.
brownies. Fuck, I used to love to get baked and eat those.
What? There we
Yeah,
go.
cosmic brownies are good. So Milkness says, "I love it when Kuntz plays with his pussy on cam." Nice. Nice. Okay, is everybody back and brownied up and ready to go?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mostly.
Okay. So here's the situation. Luckily or unluckily, night is beginning to fall. So now we have a chance to test your woodscraft. So as the sun falls, you can. The sun is starting to fall, and the Legion has showed up into sort of the slot canyon where all these caves are, and you can hear them outside searching for the lot of you. So all of you are trying to be as quiet as possible inside of your hiding place and watching the Legion fan out and search the different caves all over the canyon. So that's part of why you've chosen a cave that is high up off of the ground. Like the cave that you guys are in, you had to climb to get up here. And it's probably about 20 feet off of the ground. And it's a tight fit for all of you inside, but it is masked with that. And you're able to peek sort of through the brush and see what's happening below you. So as the sun falls, you can see the Legion following the false trail into the cavern with all the pitfalls and deadfalls and so forth. And let's see, which one of you is the one who is stationed and looking out of the brush from your hiding place? Who do you want to be your lookout?
That would be
Oh, wait.
Well, it
Everybody
depends
has their
on
hand up?
how
You
long
guys-
it takes.
Logic's mostly dead, so maybe
All
I'll
right,
take
all
it.
three of you, paper, rock, scissors for it. Right now. I'm going to count off. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so the rock beats both scissors. So logic gets to logic gets to be the
Sounds
lookout.
like I'm about to win $10.
All right.
Three-way rock,
So-
paper, scissors.
Logic, you are looking out through this sort of sea bramble, and being very careful. Like from time to time, anytime you see somebody glancing up at the thing, you shut your eyes so that the reflection of your eyes doesn't give you away.
Oh,
Like so that the light
Uh-oh.
won't catch them. Oh no. Oh, cat attack.
there's all the cat, yeah.
That's fucking hilarious. So you're very, very careful not to give everyone away. And while everybody else is resting up and trying to catch their breath and so forth. So you keep a careful count of the legionnaires, and you notice that you were only able to pick out 12 of them, though it's relatively difficult to keep them apart. And as you heard some shouts coming from, like, booming out of a cave, so it's entirely possible that they lost 3 men inside of the cave, just tumbling to their deaths. So it seems like your ruse was successful. But as the night falls, you begin to hear screams. And you're not sure if it's the legionnaires or what, but as you hear more and more of them, you see that they are not human screams at all, but very similar to the awful squawks of the seagulls that you encountered at another cave further up the way. Something about caves just lures birds. And in the fading light of the sun, at one point you see wings, like a dark winged shadow, fly over the legionnaires that are like looking up into the sky. What's happening and so forth. So it has become like night has fallen outside, and let's see how successful you were, because the legionnaires are fanning out and searching the slot cavern. So Angie, Zartet. So they search all over the canyon, but they are unable to find you. You have gotten away. And eventually, they trot off further down the path. And so you're able to rest up for a few hours and regain, each of you regains 3 hit points just from having some time to like sit and through applying first aid and so forth in the cavern. Kuntz, you have enough time. Kuntz and Zartet, you both have enough time to memorize some spells, and everybody can take this opportunity to go ahead and level up for today. So the Legion has moved past you, but it seems like you are safe for now. You can attempt to venture out and go back the way you came to elude the. So after you waited for about 2 hours, you don't see any sign of them. So you can either go back the way that you came and proceed down the coast, or you can try to spend the night in the cave.
We probably want to spend the night since everyone's hurt pretty badly.
It is an option. You can hole up here, and it's literally holing up here. You're very familiar with each other at this point.
Is there, as far as the danger of flying birds, is this like a large enough cave to, be somewhat to have that be a threat of a bird to show up?
Yeah, like if one of those things shows up and like is able to sniff you out or spot you in some way, they can get into the cave from where you are.
Do we see guano anywhere?
Not especially in this cave, no.
Okay.
But Zartet, you know that there are also some relatively large reptiles that live in this area, cave lizards, and some of them, the ones in this area are actually very pretty. They have like sort of iridescent scales that are coppery in color, but they're also meat eaters. They prey
What
on
size?
they prey on the sort of rams and sheep and goats that live sort of in this area here. So sometimes an adult copper lizard is probably able to take down a full-grown ram, and a full-grown ram can weigh up to about 300 pounds.
Can I befriend them?
Quick,
I don't know. You can certainly try. It's,
So
My
I definitely concentrate
instinct-
on some new spells. Sorry,
Okay.
Logic, go ahead.
Yeah.
My instinct is that we shouldn't stay here too much longer because in case the Legionnaires come back in daybreak, you know what I mean? Maybe we should put some more distance between us and them.
I have two quick questions. One, did I heal my hit points back to full?
No, not so full.
Did I-
You have regained.
Uh,
You just sitting in a cave is no way to heal hit points. You have gotten back 3 of your hit points from rest.
We did like a
So
short
then
rest.
I'm at 12. But since we leveled up, are you going to roll my hit points?
Yeah. Let me give you guys
1d4 plus 2.
All right. What's your D4 plus 2? So, cunts, you have gained 3 hit points this level.
Now, do I gain 3 to how many I have as well?
You 3
Just to the max.
3 to your maximum, but you don't heal any at this time.
Okay.
So then Angie, how many hit points do you get per level? It's 10, or it's like D10. What's the hit dice for a warrior? Is it
D8, I think.
okay?
A warrior is D10.
Yeah, warrior is
Oh,
D10.
yeah, D10. Sorry.
All right, so Angie, you're gonna go up
Pretty
5 hit points this time. Zartet, I think it's D8 for druids.
Yeah, I'm a D8, yeah.
You go up 5 hit points as well. Logic, you are D6. You gain 5 hit points as well. So it's 5 for everybody except for Kuntz, who gets 3. So your hit point total
quite
goes
a nice
up.
number.
Yeah, that's not too bad at all. Less fun for Angie because it's like halfway, but just try to tank less damage.
And that goes to your base
Yeah.
hit points too,
Mhm.
by the way. But that, and it's going to be a +5 bonus just for now too.
Okay, so yeah, you can decide whether you want to weather the night here, potentially encountering copper cave lizards. You definitely are seeing evidence of more big gulls going on, and there you cannot make a fire here. Certain like necessities of a camp are just not possible here. It's going to be an uncomfortable night, and you will not heal fully if you are here. Additionally, there's no way to get food that isn't good berries. So I don't know if you had any food left, but there's just
I
nothing
had
in this area.
4 good berries left
Okay.
from the last time I made them.
Okay. Well, if you want to eat them, you will be able to rest like a little bit better. But yeah, it's up to the party whether you want to spend the night here and try to leave at dawn, before dawn, or
I say we should spend the night and heal up a bit and rest.
Okay.
Because we're probably not going to be able to rest for a lot. Like, we can't rest now. We're probably not going to be resting for several more days.
Yeah, and Logic thought we should move forward to put some distance. Angie the Ranger.
Yeah,
what do you
just
think?
given the
I mean, I think at least we're good from the Legionnaires, right, or Legion right now. But I mean, at least for this time, I think I would say rest for a bit at least.
Okay. Well, I don't want to split the vote, so we're gonna stay.
Okay. So the party attempts to spend the night in this cave.
I'll distribute the good berries.
Okay. So everybody gets another good berry. By the way, cunts, when you eat the good berry, you feel much. You've had good berries before in your time with Zartet. You feel much better than you did previously. And in fact, everybody who was injured by the boar can heal an extra hit point as a result of the good berries. They're just much more efficacious for people who have been wounded by one of the corrupted creatures. So everybody can heal.
If we're sleeping the night here, do we heal the full or?
You do not heal the full. These are not. You are
cramped quarters still.
So there's sort of cold sea air blowing into there. You're cramped together in a cave. You can't build a fire, and you have only good berries to sustain you. It's not a very restful situation. In fact, the quarters are so close that it's only with great difficulty that you can prepare and memorize your spells, and only because the party.
Okay. And then how much health did the berry give me this time? 1 or 2?
2 hit points this time.
Oh yeah, give us 2.
I am gonna pocket my berry and not eat it right now.
Okay.
I still have 1 left over as well, but I did eat 1, so I got 1 left saved.
That's good.
Do I get 1 hit point or 2?
You get 2, because I believe you were also injured by the boar.
She was definitely injured by the...
She got fucked up by that boar. Okay. Well, the hours move on. You continue to hear strange cries throughout the night that make it difficult to rest, and nobody really is able to do more than catnap in this truck hole. So, let's see. As the hours pass... Okay. Let's see. Kuntz, it is your chance to keep watch. And as you are peering out into the moonlight through the sort of bramble that you've hidden the cave entrance with, you see something very large moving up on the sort of opposite mountain. It's almost as big as the giant boar that you guys took on. But all you can really see is a shadow. And for a second, you see a pair of eyes glinting in the moonlight, and it seems like it's staring directly at you. Let's see. But after a little bit, the huge form moves on. To you, it kind of looks sort of like a bear moving the distance, but you don't have like the woods lore of a Zartet or an Angie there. And they're like halfway asleep. You can choose to wake them if you want, or you can just decide that it's nothing important.
It's nothing important. I'll let everyone rest. I think rest is pretty important.
That's very kind of you. Okay. So at about 4 in the morning, it's not quite light yet. By this time, Angie, you are the one who's keeping watch. You see light flickering from the direction that the Legionnaires came in. And you're starting to hear the sounds of boots. In the distance. So here is an opportunity where you could wake the others if you'd like to. But it seems like somebody's coming your way with torches.
Should probably wake everybody up at this point.
All right. Everybody, you are roused from your sleeping. So while resting, you managed to recover another 3 hit points. And Zartet and Kuntz, you have been able to memorize new spells and so forth. You sort of crowd towards the entrance right here. And you can hear the sounds of boots approaching you. And there is torchlight flickering. It's coming from the direction along this sort of canyon that the Legionnaires went off in. And
is this the... Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so you guys are basically... these caverns are like in a sort of winding sort of slot canyon right there. And those torches and so forth are coming from the direction that the Legionnaires left you in. And you're starting to hear more heavy boot falls, but you are not hearing any voices so far.
Is this the second rest we've taken for 3 hit points?
Yes. Yeah. So you've healed a total of 6 hit points during your time holed up in this hole.
Didn't the Legionnaires just not use torches before?
They did not. They did not have torches previously. but it wasn't dark enough. Really, it was just getting into night when they and getting into dusk when they moved on.
I guess we should see.
But they are approaching. You have a window here where you can either attempt to bolt back the way you came and sort of round the horn, going along the coast again, and hope that you can make it out of the hole before anybody sees you, or you can try to continue hiding.
I think we should try to stick it out. Just, I don't remember the Legionnaires using torches.
Maybe try to surprise them, if anything. Okay, yeah, let's just play it cool. We'll stay where we are.
Angie, Kuntz, are you okay with this?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. So the torchlight flickers and illuminates more and more of the cavern, and as you hear heavy footsteps, you realize that it is indeed the Legionnaires have returned, and they've brought torches, and furthermore, there is a man with them that you have not seen previously. He is dressed in a dark robe. His head is totally bald, and just when you catch a look at him, there's something wrong with his eyes, but it's too really dark to make out what's happening there. But just something seems very odd about him as the torchlight flickers on, and from the way that he holds his head, it seems like he might be blind.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
Is there any way that I can I guess I can move silently and hide in shadows or some shit? I don't know.
So
the game.
normally you would be able to do so, but now you guys have kind of been backed into a corner here, because if you move out of the cave, you have to move aside sort of the brambles and stuff that you piled up at the entrance there. So you'll almost certainly make a noise. So I would say that it'd be almost impossible to move silently. And also, the Legionnaires are approaching and moving closer into the cave. So now you're good and trapped here. So the torches are there. There are indeed 10 of the Legionnaires remaining, and there is the one odd-looking man in the robes who, despite being blind, is sort of moving around and sniffing at the air, and he has an uncomfortable habit of flicking his tongue over his lips. It's like almost serpentine right there. So the Legionnaires start to go cave by cave in the light, and they're searching everywhere. Meanwhile, the man in the robe and the purple robe is walking around, and you notice that when he comes closer, you can get a better look at him, and it looks like his eyes have just been melted over. Like at some point, someone must have taken just hot irons and just gouged out his eyes with them. The whole side of his face is just scar tissue over both eyes, and he has a deep scar right here, sort of across his forehead.
So he's not wearing the same armor on the head.
He's not wearing the head armor or anything like that, but
he's with the Legion?
Yeah, he's with the Legion. So Angie, you're the one that's keeping a lookout right there. So you notice as you're like watching all this going on and getting a close look at this guy. So one, you realize that they will eventually find you if you stay here, because they're searching cave by cave and they're not too far away from you. You notice that this peculiar-looking man with the burnt-out eyes is also missing his pinky and his ring finger on his left hand. And you can see that there are like strange tattoos sort of all surrounding the palm of his hand. So
this guy's definitely a wizard, man.
that's definitely it's 100% a wizard. Like every yeah, it's not a it definitely looks like he is a practitioner of magic.
So maybe Angie can just take a shot at him and we can haul ass. Maybe. Does this sound reasonable at all?
Would that attract too much attention directly towards us, or can I just try to like?
Well,
You said
we're not going to make it out of this cave without.
I think like you definitely have the option to try and put one between his eyes and see if he can get away in the confusion, because he seems to be leading the men.
Thought he didn't have eyes.
So what? He does not have. Well, he's still
between where his eyes
Where
were.
his
between.
eyes would be.
It's a good call. Between the sockets, right there. He
Continuity.
does seem like he's in charge of the cohort in some way, shape, or form.
You said he was. I mean, you said he was missing a ring finger, though.
He's missing a ring finger and a pinky finger on his left hand.
How's that ring doing?
Yeah, is my ring doing? The silver ring doing
It's
anything?
not doing not a damn thing. Okay.
Yeah,
I
I
So,
might-
Angie, are you going to take a
I don't know
shot?
about this fucking ring, but it's a bad omen. I don't like this. I still don't recognize the engraving on the ring at all. Like it hasn't set upon me or anything like that.
At the moment, it seems inopportune to try and investigate a potentially magic ring. While Angie is Angie, did you want to try and take a shot at the wizard-looking guy?
Just curious.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to take a shot and try to let them haul ass in the meantime. Just try to
Okay.
get
So
out.
you warn the others, like I can take one shot, and then we just have to run for our fucking lives.
Yeah. I might just drop the ring anyway.
Okay.
Fucking ring.
So, Angie, you take a shot. You line it up as best you can. But as if he can sense what's happening, the wizard, or whatever this guy is, the bald-headed guy, ducks out of the way. He just whips his head to one side, and the arrow that would have gone right through his skull just shoots harmlessly past. And he opens his mouth to give a call of alarm, but the sound that comes out is just gravelly and like it's a guttural growling sound that doesn't sound even it sounds gross even compared to the language of Earthworth, and he's pointing up at you. So if you want to make a run for it, now is the time. But there are definitely like 10 of these legionnaires in heavy armor, and there's also the wizard type individual. Okay, so are all of you're planning to boil out of this cave and run for it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're rested.
Just
Our
run in the
feet
opposite
have
direction.
a newfound energy.
Okay. So you are essentially trying to leap down from about 15 feet up and scramble down to the ground without injury. So each of you must make a dexterity check. Angie. What's
I
your dexterity?
also climb walls.
What's your dexterity?
15 for me.
Okay, you're able to easily. You're the first out, so you take off running. You're able to bound down and run out of it. Kunz, you're next in the line. What's your dexterity?
16.
Kunz, you just barely make it down, and as you land, it's kind of awkward. And for a moment, you see the guy in the robe begins casting a spell. He's looking directly at you with his weird burnt out eyes. So he has definitely set his sights on you, and he is attempting to cast a spell.
Befriend him.
You could attempt to get a spell of your own off before he does, or you can attempt to just run for your life.
I'm going to cast invisibility.
You're going to cast invisibility? Okay. So you attempt to invoke an invisibility spell before he can get his spell off. So Logic, you're the next one down. What's your dexterity?
My dexterity is 16, but I also have a 60% climb walls skill. And I would
I'm gonna
I
let
think
you. I'm
attempt
gonna
to
let you
help-
make
sorry,
the climb check first, and then I'm gonna let you check your dexterity. So, unfortunately, as you're leap, it's an easy leap down, right? Something that you could make at almost any time. But as you're climbing down, the rocks give way. They had seemed so stable while you were climbing up, but yeah, you almost feel as if you've been cursed or something. All these things that are normally very simple for you, that you've trained with and so forth, they just go wrong. Ever since you were driven back to this island, you've felt out of step, and you're starting to worry about it. So you take a tumble and suffer just 2 points of damage, and bang up you skin both of your knees. But fortunately, you distract like when you tumble out of the cave, you distract the wizard long enough for for Kuntz to get his invisibility spell off. So as you shift into invisible and leap out of the way, Kuntz, the first of the magic missiles that the guy has fired off becomes confused and starts flying around in a spiral before vanishing in a burst of light. However, the what you now recognize as some sort of warlock seizes control of the other missiles of his spell, and hissing points 2 fingers in a like kind of like this, doing the horse thing. So Angie, as you're running off, you hear the sounds of what like angry hornets flying after you, and you're struck in the back by 2 magical bolts that hit you for 5 points of damage, and just knock the wind out of you, like sort of stunning you. Zartet, you attempt to leap out of the cave, and unfortunately, like as you are trying to clamber down with everybody else, your injured leg gives out on you again, and you crash hard to the ground and take 4 points of damage. Fortunately, this happens after the magician has already cast a spell. So logic, you have the ability where you could attempt to throw something at this guy, and then the legionnaires are moving towards the lot of you.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask about. Was throwing a dagger at this guy.
You absolutely can, and then you can bolt if you would like to.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So your dagger, he saw you like tumble down and didn't really think of you as a threat. So he is taken unaware by your dagger, which hits him right in the belly. And he doubles over, and you can see his hands shoot to the dagger, and then blood is all over them. And he lets out just a terrible screech of pain. And in fact, when he lets out that sort of strange screech of pain, you hear a tremendous growl, just like an enormous roar that sort of splits the air, and you can hear footsteps thundering down the mountain, right? And along with those footsteps, you can hear the sounds of like many hooves clattering on stone. So, one moment.
Well, we're out of the cave.
Yeah, you're all out of the cave and facing off against these legionnaires. So as the legionnaires move forward, attempting to deal with the person that injured their wizard so sorely, let's see. So, Zartet, as you're standing up, you're able to see this. It is a bear, and one that you immediately recognize. In fact, it is no bear at all. but a man wearing the form of a bear. And this enormous bear barrels down the mountain and crashes into a cluster of 4 legionnaires, and then just starts swiping its paws and biting and knocking the shit out of them. You can hear their armor clanging like bells as it connects with swipes of its paws. And they attempt to defend themselves with their axes and hammers and so forth, but they're like toys against the size of this giant bear. So it starts attacking them, and then as other legionnaires move in to attempt to fight off the bear, a herd of rams and sheep are running down the mountain and crashing into them, just butting them and slamming them to the ground, and they are just being knocked over and butted every which way. So
I'm like holding everybody back and saying, "I think I know him. I think I know who this is."
This is
Let it
you recognize immediately who this is. So while this is going on, 4 of the legionnaires are advancing on you as the rest are fighting against the rams and sheep and the giant bear that is just tearing their asses up. So closest right now, Kuntz, you can do something while you're invisible if you would like to.
So how far away am I from all this action? Or how far away are we from all this action?
You're only about like 10 feet away from the blind magician who you saw cast a powerful magic missile at Angie. He was able to fire off a few more missiles than you've been able to previously.
All right, I think I'm gonna run away to a better vantage point, as I am going to cast a very powerful spell, and I can't be standing too close to people when I do this.
No. Oh, no.
I'm gonna about 20 yards away, maybe on a rock.
So you have enough initiative right now where you can you can run about 20 yards and then try to cast something.
I'm gonna run 20 yards, but just stand there invisible and pass my turn.
Okay. So he is waiting for his moment. You only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to rock. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. Okay, so Logic, you sorely wounded that guy. Angie, you can see that the fight is going on, and you hear all this clamor and the bears and so forth. So you still have your bow out, and you do have your sword. So you have not gotten far away from the others. You can return to the fight if you want.
Can I try to take a shot at the closest guy coming at us?
Okay. Who do you want to shoot at? So
Albert.
you can take another shot at the wizard, who looks like he has got a dagger in the gut. There are also 4 legionnaires approaching and advancing on Logic and Zartet. You cannot see Kuntz. He must have run off.
Son of a bitch. Shit.
Of course. The pitiful cunts.
Maybe, okay, I'll take a shot at the wizard just to maybe see if I can stir some confusion and distract the guys running at us.
Taking another shot at the wizard. Okay. Your arrow bursts into flames while it is still on your bowstring, snapping the string, and you are actually struck by the bow as it releases all of its tension at once. But it doesn't do any damage. But the bow has just been completely knocked out. You will have to buy another string before you can fire another one. It is clearly the work of sorcery.
She's also red in the face with embarrassment.
Damn.
Yeah, that's a rough one right there.
Fuck.
So this ends your turn. So Logic, the wizard is momentarily distracted, pointing a hand at Angie to forestall her attack.
Can I get up on him in that split second? Can I close on the wizard in that?
So the legionnaires have gotten to his side right there. You can attempt to go for him, but you will face attacks from the legionnaires if you do so.
I have one more dagger, my good dagger, and I'm going to try to throw that one at him.
You're going to throw another dagger at him? Okay. What's your Thaco? It's like 18 or something?
Oh, mine's changed.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what
You
mine
might have
is
gotten a
at
point.
all.
He's. I think you're either 18 or. All right, hold on. Let me just get a chart there. Fortunately, he's not. You know, he's not as armored as these legionnaires. Let me take a look.
Yeah, it is 19.
19 right now. Okay.
I've got the table up.
Yeah, I've got it now.
Perfect.
Okay. So logic. Which this is the good dagger, right? Bisbee's dagger, or which one is this?
This is, I think this dagger was just one of the, well, no. Oh, this is the dagger that we found on the guy that I died, that fell off the cliff.
That fell off
And
the
we
cliff?
followed him down there, and he had built a nice dagger.
Okay. As you fling the dagger at the magician, he sweeps a hand up, and you hear a tremendous clang of metal on metal. And you realize that he has turned his hand into steel and shattered your dagger. It just breaks apart. And he is standing up now, and you can see blood pouring down his front. But he seems more angered than harmed at this point, and he is issuing orders to the 4 legionnaires, and they are advancing towards you now. The legionnaires are breaking into a charge at you. They're potentially about 30 feet away from you. You have the option to either turn and run, or you can take some other action. You can try and defend.
What is my bear homie doing? And the
So right now the
bighorn sheep or whatever they are.
right now they're dealing with about 60
Rams.
legionnaires.
Rams.
The bear is pretty handily taking care of 2 legionnaires, and the sheep are unfortunately getting pretty cut up as they're trying to like mob down the legionnaires. 2 of the legionnaires are on the ground and are not getting up anytime soon. These are the ones that took the brunt of the bear's assault.
Am I able to you speak with animals to tell one of the sheep to go at the wizard? Because I think for some reason maybe the wizard
yeah, you
his
could
spell
you
only,
could you could
dispels metal away from him. Maybe if it's a living creature going at him, he can't do anything about it.
he does seem to have a knack for breaking weapons. Okay, so you try to call over.
I think
One of the
Zartet has
sheep
to give us
to,
like he has to do it. Like talk to the sheep, Zartet.
Yeah. You attempt to call the sheep over to attack the thing, and as you give the bleeding cry, you notice a couple of rams raise their heads, making out what you have said. So that was your option to do something. So Angie, you have recovered from your bow smacking you in the face, but now you no longer have a bow. You can see that 4 legionnaires are running towards Logic and Zartet.
You know, running away is always a kind of a cool idea. I'm just
Yeah, I was in my remaining action. I was going to put distance between me and the
Okay,
4.
you
charging at
bolt.
me.
So you see Logic starting to run away, but Zartet, it was definitely, he took a pretty hard spill right there. He can attempt to run, but not especially at any tremendous speed right there. And you hesitated to call out to the animals, but Zartet, you have the option to either try and defend yourself with your spear, or you can attempt to run for it.
I'm gonna cast
I wanna
Shillelagh
You-
on my spear.
Casting Shillelagh on your spear. I will tell you, by the time that you can, is that like a free action, or is it like?
I
does
think
have
it
a
is
casting
like
style? Yeah, let's take a
in
look.
5th edition, it's a free action.
Can I defend Zarta until
bonus
you can
action.
cast it?
Yeah, hold on. Let me see. You could dash forward and attempt to cover Zartet. So
run away. Come on,
Aren't you
guys.
invisible?
Yeah,
Casting time is 2. I don't know what that means.
should run away.
okay, so it's 2 rounds, or it's a 2 initiative. It costs there, so it's not an instantaneous thing. If you stop to cast a spell, legionnaires will be on top of you.
Run away!
Never mind.
You hear from nowhere. You can't really see from where, but you just keep hearing, "Run away!"
Oh, are you calling out to them to run? Yeah.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Calling
So you can hear cunts like calling on you to run off.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we should try to.
But I'm gonna run.
Yeah. So all of you run for it. So cunts, the legionnaires are running after them, and here is your chance if you want to try and cast something.
I'm going to be casting a spell which gives us 8,000 cubic feet of spider web.
Oh, you're casting web on these guys? Nice.
The level 2 spell.
Wow.
You're gonna coom on them.
It also, let's see here. The range is 20 yards. Duration is 8 turns.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
Area is
yeah. Web
8,000
lasts.
cubic feet. So
Web lasts
basically,
for a
all
while.
of them.
Well, it's a
And
question
it's
of
flammable. If it were to start on fire, everyone caught in the web takes 2d4 points of damage per turn.
so. Let's see whether or not you were able to hit all of the legionnaires. I'm making saves for each of them. One of them is really wrapped up. Nope.
These are
Okay.
Japanese businessman spiders.
Yeah,
These
yeah.
are the top of the line.
So your web spell is tremendously effective. The three of the legionnaires are caught up, and one of them is so deeply entangled that you've never seen somebody so badly wrapped up by a web spell. However, one of the legionnaires was charging at Zartet, and he manages to get free. He just only a few strands stick to him, and he's strong enough to bull his way forward. Fortunately, your web spell also seems to have interrupted the enemy wizard, who was in the middle of casting a spell, and now he's so webbed up that he can't manage to pull it off right there. So well done there. Powerful spell from Big Zartet. Okay, so
Cleats, actually.
from Big. I don't know why I'm.
No big deal.
Yeah. Can't keep track of what's going on. I'm so busy imagining spider
I
webs
gotcha.
webbing up legionnaires. So Zartet, now you have time to cast that spell if you would like to.
What? Speak with animals?
No, you already you were able to use speak with
the
animals.
shillelagh. I understand.
Yeah.
All right.
For those of us new to D&D, what's shillelagh do?
So Shillelagh enchants a stout stick of wood, granting it magical powers, meaning that he is at +1 to hit. He does an additional 2d4 damage when he strikes, and his spear will count as a magical weapon.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So
Fucking
so
shit
you're
more
able to cast
powerful.
that. So the legionnaire makes his way to you and takes a swing at you. He has a glaive. Okay, and he is successful, unfortunately. Unfortunately the strands of web were not enough to hold him back, and he charges forward and thrusts his glaive at you. And you attempt to sort of parry it with the hardened shaft of your spear. And fortunately, the magic has fortified it to where you can hold back the blade, but you still suffer 3 points of damage as he sort of rides over the top of your thing and manages to score a wound against your shoulder. So you are struck.
He had a sword.
Yeah, he has a glaive, which is a polearm.
Okay.
But
So
now,
like spear against spear almost.
yeah, it's spear against spear. But now you have an option to hit him back if you would like to, because he's left himself open.
Oh yeah. Well, I got power of nature on my side.
Okay. Yeah, luckily, the ensorcelled spear is able to score a powerful strike against him. So, let's see. What do you get? So, in addition to the normal damage of your spear, which I think is like a D8.
Sorry,
2d4.
cat food time. I'll be back in like 30 seconds.
Holy shit. Holy shit. So Zartet, you can you manage to drive the spear through the gorget, the plate protecting his neck, just through the power of your spell, you drive right through it and impale him through the neck and actually drive all the way through it. And you can just feel a pulse of energy run up your spear and as you slay this guy immediately. So he's just almost instantly killed by your attack. And he slumps to the ground while all the other legionnaires are caught up in Kuntz's web. Okay. So, here's what's happening. So, unfortunately,
Fuck yes.
you can hear bleeding from 2 rams that attempted to charge the wizard but got caught in Kuntz's web. The bear has completely overpowered the remaining of the 6 legionnaires, but it has also taken some pretty serious wounds in the... Zartet is like batting 1,000 with that fucking spear. Yeah, good God. Yeah, he's... I think Angie still like leads the kill count, though, with the bow. But sadly, those days are maybe beyond us right here. Okay.
String up the guts of one of these legionnaires.
Yeah. So, as of right now, most of the sheep and rams have been driven into disarray. The bear is facing off against 2 remaining legionnaires. The other 4 have been killed or sorely disabled. So, in the web spell, you hear more chanting coming from there, and you recognize the spell Kuntz. You have time to warn everybody that the magician is casting a fireball inside of the web.
That set himself on fire.
He's about he's probably going to set himself on fire, but the radius of the fireball is such that he would hit the rest of you as well.
Did the sheep do anything, or did they get trapped in the web?
The 2 sheep that were going for him got trapped in Kuntz's web.
Great.
So if the web does start on fire, everybody suffers 2d4 points of damage. That's
Everybody in there is going to take a bunch of damage, including the poor
I
sheep.
think
This wizard's dumb as hell.
I think I'm gonna fire 1 round of my magic missiles at Robert Patrick, the T1000 wizard.
The T1000 wizard.
You said his hand turned into steel.
He did cast some kind of enchantment that made his hand turn into like some kind of metal, and he was able to deflect the dagger thing.
So I do have 2 magic missiles, 1d4 plus 1 each.
Okay, so
100 yards now.
I will tell you where you're standing. You're probably going to get hit by that fireball if he gets it off. It takes a little bit of time to cast a fireball, though. Do you warn the others, or you just go straight into casting your spell?
Oh yeah, sorry. Other people, there's a fireball coming, and then I go straight into casting.
Okay, so you are forewarned by Kuntz. Kuntz is apparently going to try and tank this fireball. But the 3 of you have the option to try and dash away from the fireball. So this is yet another dexterity check for each of you. Angie, what do you got?
I'm 15.
15? Okay.
Let's go.
Angie, you don't quite make it all the way out, but you're just getting hit in the back a lot today because you... when the fireball goes off, you are just a little bit singed to the back, but you've mostly gotten out of the blast radius. Logic. What is your dexterity?
16.
Logic. Similarly, you make it just to the border of the fireball as the blast goes off. So Zartet, how fast do you think you can limp away here? What's your dexterity?
My dexterity is 13.
Okay, you're a little bit... through your age and experience, know that when a fireball is about to go off, it's time to get the fuck out of dodge. So that adds a little extra gravitas to your running. You manage to hurl yourself out of the path of the fireball, and then Kuntz, you're going to get hit. So you hear the eldritch words complete, and then air rushes towards the center of the ring of the web, and then at the same time, you can see that Kuntz, seemingly fearless, is casting a spell of his own. So he casts magic missiles into the web. The magic missiles just eat directly through the web and strike the magician, but he still finishes his incantation. And then suddenly there's a blinding light painting the entire cavern orange as the fireball goes off. So damage is cast upon you, like quite a bit there. So Logic, you are singed for 4 points of damage. Angie, you were singed for 3 points of damage, but fortunately you managed to get out of the way. Zartet, you were able to get away. And then Kuntz, you take 10 points of damage. However, your proficiency, with fire magic reduces that by 2 points.
Okay, -8 then.
Yeah.
9 hit points.
you got scorched by this guy, but you did manage to hit him with the magic missile immediately.
He needs to take damage from that fire.
Immediately, the whole web goes up in a blaze, and you can hear cries from the 3 legionnaires that are caught within the blaze, and more chanting from the blaze. So you can see the legionnaires are stumbling around and blinded, and the wizard is on fire. His robes have lit up and they're burning, and you can see that he reaches out and grabs one of the legionnaires closest to him. The legionnaire just locks up in his step as if he's frozen in place, and then he begins to tremble and shudder and then collapses to the ground. And you see that the wizard has drained him of his life to heal himself. So, he has just expended the one legionnaire. The other ones are rolling on the ground, trying to put out their burning armor, and rising up considerably injured as a result of it. So, the singed magician is rising up, and your invisibility spell is ended now, Kuntz, because you have cast a spell. In fact, I think
it would have ended at web.
It ended
too,
at web. Yeah, it ended at web. So Angie and Logic, you're both on the ground, rolling around and so forth. So Zartet, you have the option to act, but Kuntz is considerably wounded here. And also, I'm sad to say that both of the sheep that you used communicate with animals on, they were slain in the fire.
Yeah. That's
What
terrible.
were their names? Rest in peace.
I didn't ask.
They were Buddy and Stampy.
Tattoos later.
Yeah.
I didn't get to ask them that.
Yeah. So Zartek, yeah, you have the option to do something if you'd like. Also, you can hear just beyond as you're trying to figure out what to do. You can see that the battle is starting to turn for the bear. The two now that all the sheep have been slaughtered, essentially, the 2 legionnaires are facing off against the bear, and one of it has just landed a pretty serious whack against it with the warhammer, and the bear is limping on one paw.
Yeah, not attacking, right?
Yeah, they're all still fighting, but it seems like the fight has turned against the bear.
Okay, so is this bear his human form? I know him well or not very well?
If it's the bear that you're thinking of, you know him very well. But at this point, he is not able.
Family foe.
Heal the bear.
Is an old friend. But at this point, it would be dangerous to approach him because he's more bear than person, and he's in a fight for his life.
Okay.
Additionally, The sort of melted faced magician is standing up and is has pulled the dagger from his gut and is holding it in his hand. He seems much fortified by the life force that he has drained from the Legionnaire.
You could I want to table talk it, but if he's maybe you could cure light on the wizard and impact him negatively, like undead or something. I don't know if you know what I mean?
That's interesting. Yeah, I think the spell can be reversed.
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
Is this wizard pretty injured?
No, actually, he seems stronger than ever. No. He just essentially sacrificed one of his legionnaires to heal himself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
I guess
Angie's dog.
I guess I would want to heal him, right?
Heal
Or
the bear?
not.
Well, the bear is on the other side. Like the magician is between you and the bear right now. And it looks like the magician is considering throwing the dagger at you.
Yeah, I have to touch the creature anyway.
Mhm.
I don't want to touch him. All right, I'm just gonna take a shot. Shillelagh.
Okay. Are you throwing the spear or you're trying to spear him with the spear?
I'm within range to like hold it and spear at him, right?
No, you're you would have to run up and go for an attack. You'd have to charge him.
Okay. Can I like run halfway and throw it at him?
Yeah, you could get a running start and hurl the spear at him. Okay. All right, you're gonna try and
Is this a
javelin him
javelin
with the
type
spear.
throw then? Is this an
Yes,
Olympic event?
he's javeling
Yeah,
him.
but it's shillelagh.
Yeah. All right. So you try and javelin him with the spear. Unfortunately, the javelin was not your event at the Druid Olympics, and the spear flies wide. You fling your spear just as he's throwing the dagger at you.
Uh-huh.
So he completely misses with his throw. This guy is not a
He doesn't
hand
miss.
fighter.
I dodge.
Yeah. Oh, you think you dodge out of the way? Yeah. Well, he definitely missed you by about 10 feet with this throw. He seems like more attuned to magery than what have you.
We
And,
both throw and miss.
Yeah, as he
Where does my spear go?
so your spear flies past him, but fortunately it doesn't hit the bear, but it doesn't hit a legionnaire or anything either. As that mage is flinging his dagger, basically, he's not even close when he throws it at you. A single brave ram charges down the hill and crashes into the side of his knee and just butts him over, like bowls him over. And you see him actually knocked off of his feet and flung into the air by the force of the butt. And you can hear a sickening crack as the ram butts him. So
In that split second, do I have enough time to sort of sneak up on this guy and stab him?
you certainly do not. Yeah, you just leapt away from a fireball. You were about 30 feet away from him. You would have to run directly at him if you want to take advantage of this momentary lapse.
How far away am I from him?
So you are pretty close to Logic right now. You're about 30 feet away from him. And in fact, you have a chance to act before Logic does. Angie, what do you want to do?
Well, would I have a chance to like run up and try to stab him
You
with
could
my
definitely
sword?
run up and try to nail him with the sword.
All right, send it.
Okay. Let's see. Okay. So you charge after him, and just as you're doing that, the ram that knocked him over has the same idea. So the two of you are charging at him simultaneously, and unfortunately, he is able to roll out of the way. I always say unfortunately, but he's able to roll out of the way. He's able to roll out of the way, and you have to leap back before you get hit by the ram. And as the ram is charging past him, he grabs it by one of its legs, and you can just see the ram trying to kick at him and to get him away. And as it's doing so, you can see its flesh begin to wither and fade away.
Come on.
Yeah, and he has just defiled this animal and sucked the life out of the ram with his necromancy or with his devilly magic or whatever. One thing you notice, Angie, is the hand that he's using when he drains the life out of people like that is his left hand, the one that's missing the fingers. And when he does it, you can see fingers of swirling red light form where his should be.
Can I attempt to chop off his hand?
No, you just missed with your attack. You fell back for a second there. So Logic, you have the option to attack.
That is what I shall do. And is there any chance that I can make this a backstab?
No, you absolutely, you would need some time to like creep around. Yeah, if you were a little you can forego this attack and attempt to creep around him because he was definitely distracted by Angie and all that.
I will do that.
Okay,
That's what I will do.
Yeah, you're attempting to do that. Okay, so the two singed legionnaires are rising up at this point. You can see, you hear a terrible groan from behind, and the bear smashes down one of the people. He just swats him like a cat would swat Kuntz's headphone cord. Just pile drives him into the ground, but unfortunately, as it nails the one legionnaire, the other one sinks an axe into its side, and the bear crumples to the ground, injured. So two badly
Do I know
singed...
this guy's name?
You do, but we'll have to get to it in a second. It's Morian.
Morian.
No, I'm sorry, Morian, not Morian like a West,
Okay.
but Morian.
Morian.
Yeah. Then so Angie, two of the legionnaires have risen up, but they're so badly singed that you have an option to go for an attack on either them or the wizard before they close in on you.
Yeah, I'm gonna attack them.
Okay.
I'll hit on the wizard for logic.
Yeah. So, so as you swing your sword, you thought that they were like badly injured. They were just kind of like staggering forward, but then you realized that they were just playing up how injured they were, and they you are too overeager in your attack, and one attacks you back. But he's not able to get you. You realize in time that it's a ruse, and you're able to dance back from one attack, and also from the second Legionnaire's attack. It seemed like they were also overeager right there. Okay, so then let's see. Kuntz, you have the option to attack here.
Okay, so I'm just going to take a quick look at the battlefield. How is the bear doing? How many people is the bear fighting?
The bear has slumped to the ground. Only one Legionnaire remains over there. So there are 3 Legionnaires left alive. The bear has slumped to the ground, mortally wounded. The wizard is rising to its feet. The wizard looks more injured than he did after he sucked the life out of one of his Legionnaires. Apparently, the ram doesn't have enough life force to allow him to fully heal himself as previously. The two blackened Legionnaires are trying to attack Angie, but she is too graceful for them. And then you see the telltale sign that Logic is sneaking around and trying to just get a backstab off on this wizard.
Okay. Is the third Legionnaire? Where's he? Is he like closer to death?
No, he is covered in blood, but he is moving towards the fray now that the bear has been dispatched.
So I have one magic missile left. Well, two, but like one casting left.
Yeah.
Who looks? Do any of the Legionnaires look like they're out alone or near anybody, or should I go for the wizard?
The two legionnaires near Angie are about to gang up on her. Right there, you could potentially even the odds with a magic missile.
Okay, I'll just like send one missile to each Legionnaire.
Okay, you're gonna split up the missiles and hit
Split
one
them,
of each
yeah.
legionnaire.
Like it never works in bowling, but we'll try it with.
All right, you're going for the 7-10 split on the battle with the legionnaires. Okay, you're the missiles phase them, and definitely they're taken aback by your attack. But probably you should have just tried to take out one because it's not enough to bring either down.
All
All
right, Angie, sounds like you're gonna die.
Okay. So Logic, you have crept around, and you now have a chance. You see, as the two legionnaires get struck by those, the magician is chanting again, and now you see your chance to go for ye old backy stabby. So,
Yep, shoving it right in his butt.
well, that is that's a fair thing to say actually, because as you try to stab him in the back, he seems to sense that you're near and pitches himself forward, and you do wind up bringing your dagger down and opening a significant cut in his buttocks. Just as the cat flashes his anus at us. So you manage to stab him in the ass, but it is not the desired terrible wound. And right now, it's very noticeable because he is stark naked. All of his clothes have burned away, and you can see that his entire body is just covered with burns and scars. He just looks like a monument to suffering.
How close? Just for my information, how close is Zartet's spear?
Yeah, actually, very interesting. It's not far at all from you, and it's still imbued with magic. You can see it glowing faintly green.
I would like to, if I have any.
And actually,
flask,
like
I would
approaching
to
you right now is the legionnaire that defeated the bear. So the spear is between the two of you, but you can't act further because you just tried to stab the guy and drill him in the ass. So Kunz, you just cast your spell. Angie, you're facing off against two legionnaires right here, and it looks like Zartet has thrown away his spear. So you're
Handle
fighting
my spear, dude.
Yeah, you're fighting two different opponents right here. You have one on your right and one on your left. You have the option to strike one.
Can I just pick whichever one looks weakest right now?
Whichever one looks weakest. It's difficult to tell.
Okay, right.
Is your character right-handed or left-handed?
I would say right.
Okay. He goes for the one, or you. I suggest you attack the one on your right-hand side then. So you swing Bisbee's sword, and the legionnaire throws up a forearm to try and block your strike, and your sword cuts right through his arm. Just slices right through it, and he lets out like a horrible of pain, and then staggers away from you. The other one tries to attack you. He has a big bastard sword, and he is able to strike you with it. Unfortunately, like you just nailed the one guy. You take 9 points of damage.
Eef.
Yeah. Are you still alive?
Yeah, I have two.
Yeah, 2 points. Okay. You take a grievous wound from his sword. And Zartet, you can see that it looks like he's about to try and follow up. The magician is sorely distracted, but the legionnaire who has scored the grievous wound is trying to press his advantage and attack Angie further. Okay, Logic, you now, Zartet, you can act, and then Logic, you can act, and then Kunz, you'll have a chance to act.
I don't have any spells, I think.
have any spells? I don't know. You don't have
I
any
mean,
weapons
I
or
can
anything left, yeah?
Entangle.
If it helps you guys out any on my turn, I'm gonna run at him and cast. I think it's called Chill Touch or Cold Touch.
Oh, you have chill touch? Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Oh, you're fucking rocking with necromancy? What's wrong with you, cunts?
I just ones that sounded useful in a team fight.
I mean, I guess I would have been running towards my spear, actually.
Okay, so you're trying to run around and gather up your spirit. That's going to take a little bit to maneuver over there. So now, logic. Logic, the Legionnaire is advancing towards you. You have... wait, did you have a dagger left to backstab, or did you have to try and backstab with your sword? Your short sword?
A short sword is a piercing weapon, specifically.
Okay, cool. So yeah, you have your short sword. Yeah, you have your short sword. Short sword. And the Legionnaire is advancing on you. He comes after you with his big double-bladed axe. You're able to leap backward, and you actually wind up rolling over. You sort of stumble backward and roll over the magician, who reaches up and grabs you with his left hand. So, what is your constitution, Logic?
Mine, I believe, is 12.
12?
It is 12.
Okay. He does not manage to get a full grip on you, but for a moment, you can just feel the will to live just ebbing away from you. You just feel cold and hopeless, and you can't even understand why you're bothering to fight these guys. But as you writhe out of his grip and roll away, the feeling flees away from you. So his life-stealing attack failed. So Zartet, the Legionnaire that tried to attack Logic, ran right past your spear. You have, or Zartet, you have the ability to try and pick it up there, and go for an attack on his back.
All right, I do that.
All right, so you dash forward, scoop up the spear, and try to drive it into his back, but his armor is too heavy. He's got a rear back plate, and the spear just glances off of it, and with a ping type sound. Cunts, you have the ability to act.
All right, so I want to try and time my Chill Touch. Let's see what it's actually called. Yeah, Chill Touch with some either Zartet's spear attack or Angier Logic's attacks.
Okay,
If that's
so,
a possibility.
who are you attacking here? So there are...
the wizard. So
you try and attack the wizard?
basically, maybe make the wizard easier to attack with the blade or spear.
Gotcha. Okay.
By chilling them.
So you attempt to perform a touch attack on the wizard. So you have to...
Sorry, I forgot also.
wait.
I believe we get to eat one good berry on return for free, right? Do we?
At the moment...
As I'm running, I can...
No,
gobble a
you would
good berry.
never do that. You can't gobble the berry while you're attacking this guy.
Okay,
That
I'll
seems
just go with the
ludicrous.
chill touch then.
Okay, so you're attempting to chill touch him. Okay, you make a chill touch attack, and he, as you attempt to attack, so the hand that you try to chill touch him with, he throws up his hand and grabs you. And for a moment, the two sorceries are vying against each other. Kuntz, what is your intelligence?
It's super fucking high, my friend.
I hope
It
so,
is
yeah.
17.
I hope so. All right, let's see what's happening here. Okay. And then he is also making a check. It's a contested check. So, initially, it seems like you will be able to overpower him. You can see just sort of frost start to spread up his grip, and icy fingers run down his arm, and you squeeze your hand, hoping that you can shatter his grip. But the missing fingers glow bright red, and you can feel him starting to steal the energy of your spell. You've seen this happen before, like training in magic and so forth, and you manage to cut off your spell and pull your hand back before he can overpower you and steal your life force there. So you
Can
wind
I
up.
stab him in the kidney?
Yeah, you can. Well, so yeah, you can take an attack now. You're back on your feet, Logic. His hand is covered with frost, and it seems like you have injured him. Cunts, you got off the better of that magic duel. Okay. Let's see. You're not able to land your attack. He's just too wily. It's hard to. It's actually it's much harder to land a blow on this naked guy than it should be.
It's the story of my life.
It's like the pig. God.
Yeah. And well, you guys are you guys are pretty inexperienced at combat. This is the most fighting since you landed on this island. You've done 10 times more fighting than you had done for quite some time previously. So the magician is like clutching the frozen hand with his other hand. He's paying no attention to you in Logic, but he managed to evade your strike, and he starts running just in the direction of the cliffs, the way that you guys came. So Zartet, you have your spear. The legionnaire with the sword that injured Angie so severe. Which legionnaire am I thinking? Hold on, let me fix in my mind exactly where it is. So it's actually the legionnaire with the double-bladed axe that you attempted to attack. So he
glanced off his back.
he did not miss that whole thing. So I'm gonna see which one of you gets. I'm giving you red. Let's see which one of you gets to attack first. Okay, he's a little bit faster than you are as he wheels around to attack you. Let's see. But unfortunately, even though he's a little bit faster than you are, experience trumps that. So you deduce that he's going to try and go for the head. You duck low and attack back with your spear and drive it into his kneecap. But again, he's saved by his armor. So even though you're able to outfox him, he is just too heavily armored for you to deal with it. Angie, you have the ability to attack now. Though you're sorely wounded, you can see the legionnaire with the cut-off arm is just bleeding out on the ground now. He's no threat. However, the one that struck you so sorely with the sword is looming over you, and he's moving forward for an attack. You have a desperate chance to attack before he can finish you.
Yeah, might
okay.
as well.
So, as he's moving in for the kill, just single-mindedly moving forward, you were able to lunge forward with Bisbee's spear and drive it right through the eye slot of his helmet, putting an end to his attacks forevermore, slaying the legionnaire. So you see the mage dart past you as you do that. So you can see that the mage is running away, just sort of blindly dashing towards the cliffs. You have the option to try and stop him if you'd like.
Let him run off.
I draw my claw hammer and I give chase.
Okay, you're chasing after him with the hammer. He's got a significant head of steam on him there. So
I don't care.
Let's see. Zartet, once again, you're facing off with this legionnaire.
Yes.
Okay. You are much faster than the legionnaire this time. Just your strike to his kneecap just slowed him down, and you're able to follow up once more with your spear. So this time, you land a terrible blow to him. It just hits the solar plexus of his. Normally, you would shatter a spear doing this, but because of the fortifying power of your spell, the spear point punctures right through it, strikes him in the heart, and kills him instantly. Let's see.
Shenane.
Yeah. So that is the last of the opponents that is remaining here. So, Kuntz, let's see if you can chase this guy down. is okay. So you're able to get in close enough to where you could attempt to throw the hammer at him, but he's almost to the edge of the cliff, and it looks like he's about to fling himself off. Are you willing to risk losing your hammer to go for a throw at him?
Absolutely not.
No, no? Okay. Well, you hang on to your hammer, and in the moment where you could have maybe thrown it at him, he leaps directly off of the side of the cliff and falls. It must be about 150 feet down to the
First?
ocean. Yeah. He leaps like 150 feet down to the ocean. You are able to come to a stop before chasing after him off of the side of the cliff, unlike some other members of our party.
Logic.
So, yeah, he's escaped by leaping off of a cliff. Yeah,
Isn't that a Tom Cruise movie? I think it is.
that's also The Fugitive with Harrison Ford right there.
Oh, that's right. That's
Yeah.
correct. Yeah, The Fugitive.
Yep.
Wow.
I have to
Okay.
watch that movie again.
Yeah, so he's gotten clear. So the burnt up, I mean, it's no surprise. That guy looks like he's been through hell and back. So as you look around, there's nothing left of the cohort of legionnaires. Good Lord. So
Looting bodies.
No, go to the bear.
yeah, Zartet, you can hear heavy breathing of a very injured bear.
Yeah, I'm gonna go up to my bro Morian.
Well, I will tell you that you can attempt to assist
Sounds like
him.
he's more dying.
Yeah, but this will more dying. Oh no, that's terrible. All right, so your encounter with Morian will have to wait for another day because here ends our adventure for the night. Yeah, yeah. But I want to congratulate. So all of you have gotten halfway to level 5 with this adventure, and you have some excellent work here. Kunz, you faced off against a much more experienced magician, and through the power of your magic, saved your party. Angie, you slew a legionnaire in single combat. Zartet, you impaled yet another person with a powerful spear. I think you took out 2 different guys there.
Yeah.
Logic, you tried.
Damn.
Yeah, I got him in the ass.
You did wound him pretty badly in the ass. And I think honestly, you initially hit him with the dagger in the gut. That saved him from just wiping you guys out because it's quite a powerful magician, seemingly, that you guys have taken on there. Okay, cool.
Oh, yeah.
Well, thank you to everybody who watched IRC D&D number 5, and thanks to all the players. Shout out to Angie, Kuntz, Logic, and Zartep. And catch us every week at around this time where we venture. I want to find out what happened to Morian.
And
the
die.
All right. Good luck, everybody.